What is up, YouTube? Today I'm bringing you guys a money play that you can use to attack any coverage in the game. Now, I'm thinking about doing a mini scheme on this as well. It's probably going to come out a little bit later because we've already got the defensive guy that we're working on together. We've already got the Vikings mini scheme that we're bringing out as well. So we just got a lot on our plate. So anyways, 20 likes on this video. Let's hit it, and I'll start a mini scheme as soon as we're done with all the other stuff that we've got going for you guys right now. So we're going to be in the Oakland Raiders offense using the San Francisco 49ers. This is extremely important to be able to run this play. Now we're going to be in weak close flex. Don't confuse it with single back wing flex close. I've said that multiple times already. But weak close flex, the play is going to be bench flat. Now we have George Kittle, which has tight, I want to say it's tight end apprentice or route apprentice, whatever it's called. He's going to be able to have 4 additional routes added to his route tree to where you can hot route him into different things. So that's very important when we are going to be running this play. Bench flat, we're going to start off in a regular old cover 3. Now, one thing I'd like to add to this, if you guys play Mutt, if you could have an escape artist with a dashing Deadeye QB and no look Deadeye, I think you guys know I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes. I want to say Steve Young gets it. I'm not entirely sure. But one of those two, whoever else gets it, is going to be fantastic for running this play. First off, escape artist is going to help you get out of the pocket a lot easier. Jimmy G, he's good. He's good, but he certainly isn't the best for escaping as far as Madden 20 is concerned. Now, the setup for the play is as follows. You want to go ahead and put your tight end on a corner route, and then your running back in a wheel, and X on a hitch. This is what it's looking like right now. Now, normally he is running a corner route, but you'll notice there is a difference between the hot routed version and the stock version. The regular version is running a little bit deeper of a corner route, and if you throw it a little bit later, sometimes you'll find that the outside third or outside quarter is going to be able to jump that. And so that's why I like to have this little hot routed corner route instead. And then everything else is the same. X on a hitch, RB on a wheel. X, the only reason we have them there is to pull any kind of flat down, whether it be a cloud flat, curl flat, seam flat, or quarter flat. Now, quarter flats are going to be in cover for quarters and palms. On top of that, you need to be on a hash. You cannot be running this in the middle of the field. Always be on a hash for this play to work. So, with that being said, you notice that the wide receiver is on the short side of the field. That's a huge reason why, and especially when we get into cover 4 quarters and palms, why we have to have the wide receivers on the short side and always on a hash. Now, cover 3, we're going to go ahead and just motion this guy over. Cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, it's going to be the same motion every single time. And we're going to either hit George Kittle or this crossing route that we just created from that corner. Now, I don't know if that was inbounds. It looks like he was flying for 5,000 decades. But you guys can see right there, the corner is getting open, or that post is getting open. Now, let's go ahead and see if we can roll out. I'm going to go ahead and just see if we can actually get this to work. Motion this guy over. And we'll see if we can hit George Kittle. George Kittle, I know for a fact I can hit. So right there, bam, pass it to the outside, swerve catch. And hopefully you can get a little bit better of an animation than that diving leap of faith. But I want to note right there, that is going against a zoned out player. These guys react instantaneously. As soon as you're winding up, practically, they're already going to jump that ball. So you can see right there, against a zoned out, we're even able to fit that in consistently. Now, this is any kind of cover 3, whether it be cover 3 cloud, cover 3 match, cover 3 sky. It's going to work every single time, even cover 3 buzz. So now let's take a timeout and let's get into cover 2. Now, Tampa 2, this is where this play is going to shine. This play is going to dominate Tampa 2, or any kind of cover 2 for that matter. This is where this hitch is extremely important to have. He's going to hold that cloud flat down, so when Sanders runs that post route, he's going to get over the top of that cloud flat and underneath that deep zone. George Kittle, depending on what kind of flats they have, may or may not get open. If it's a cloud flat or a soft squat, he won't get open. If it is a hard flat, he will get open. If it's a cloud or soft squat, you're going to take the underneath stuff ran by Tevin Coleman. So we're going to go ahead and motion this guy over. Motion snap. Don't let him set his feet. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Bam, we can hit this post route. Easy dot every single time. No questions asked. Now, one thing I failed to mention at the very beginning, Do not let Sanders set his feet, or whoever your slot receiver is, they cannot set their feet. The reason for that is, and we'll see if we can get it to work right now, is you'll find that George Kittle and Sanders, if you let him set his feet, will often collide into each other. We'll see if it happens right here. It may just be certain coverages. You can see right there, that time they run it clean. They were able to hit this post route fairly easy. That's a possession catch I like to see, not that diving possession catch. That's an ag catch if you ask me. But maybe it might just be cover 3 and cover 4. Sometimes in cover 2, I have noticed this, that they'll run into each other and just mess up the timing on the routes and just really make it more difficult to throw. Now, I was talking about Tevin Coleman. You can hit this guy underneath. We'll go ahead and get it all set up. It's ready to go. Cover 2 is a Tampa 2 clop. That's going to play the corner out ran by George Kittle. You're going to have to wait a little bit on this one with pass lead to the outside. We're going to try trucking out. I think he's really designed for trucking. You can hit it fairly easy for a gain of almost 6 yards. Now, we'll change this into a cover 2 hard flat. Pretty obvious right here who's going to get open. Sanders and Kittle. No questions asked. Snap the ball. Kittle. Money. All day. Every day. So, that's how you're going to attack your cover 2. It's very easy. Extremely effective. Now let's get into the last stock zone coverage, is what I like to call it. It doesn't have any kind of match principle behind it. A cover 4 drop show 2. Now cover 4, there's several varieties to it. You have a cover 4 drop, you have a cover 4 palms, cover 4 quarters, and all those are going to play slightly different. Cover 4 palms, as we get into it, is actually pretty good against this play. So we'll set everything else up the same. X on a hitch, RB on a drag, or wheel route, excuse me, and George Kittle on that tight end apprentice corner route. You'll be able to hit George Kittle right here. Bam, very tight window. What happened right there, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. The hook curl is going to run into George Kittle or whoever your tight end is. And it's something that's a little frustrating, and this is kind of where you want escape artists to help pull that curl flat down and be able to fit him on the sideline a lot easier. I'm going to go ahead and just slant these guys to the inside. And we'll just slide right, get this whole thing set up. Motion him over. We'll try rolling out right here with GMG. I don't really anticipate us being able to get out. But it's right there. If he isn't getting bumped, bam. Dot. That's the spot you're going to be able to hit it every single time. If he is not getting bumped by that curl flat. In fact, it looks like I don't know what was going on with the post or what was going on with this game right now. It looks like that post route was getting a little bumped as well. So, as always, you can hit this post route as well. That time, that was not the best route ran, but right there you can see dot. If he isn't getting bumped by the hook curl, you're going to be able to hit that fairly easily almost every single time, as long as you can roll out. If you can't roll out, you're going to have to be really careful about pass lead. Just make sure you pass lead it down into the outside so it doesn't get picked off by the outside quarter or curl flat. So that's cover 4 drop show 2. Now let's get into a little more difficult and where hash mark matters significantly. Cover 4 quarter. So again, weak close flex, not single back wing flex close. Bench flat, and we're going to cover 4 quarters out of 3-4 odd. So now we're going to set it up the same exact way. There's no difference in a cover 4 quarters versus a cover 4 drop. You're going to have your tight end on that tight end apprentice corner route, or you can leave it. In this case, I want this corner route as a tight end apprentice would run it. And then motion this guy over. You'll be able to hit everybody else the same exact way as usual. You can see right there, Kittle gets way more open. But then also you can still hit that post route that you create from Sanders, whatever his first name is. So again, we'll go ahead and do this. We'll look for Sanders this time. The outside quarter is going to match that hitch route. We can hit this quarter flat on the sideline because he simply is just off. We can get a little bit of time. You guys can see right there, wide open on the sideline. But we're going to be able to easily dot this cover 4 quarters. We'll do this one more time. I'm going to drop these guys into zone coverage. Whoops, wrong button. Drop these guys into spies, and I'll even put whoever that is into a spy as well, so we can just show you guys that this does get open against a cover 4 quarters, as long as you don't just get shedded to death. So motion this guy over, motion snap. Again, make sure that you do not just let him set his feet, and you can see right there, dot. Again, it's essentially going to work the same as a cover 3 sky, cover 2, cover 4 drop show 2. Now, cover 4 palms is where you're really going to struggle using this play. I'm not going to lie, cover 4 palms bags this play really well. It just matches it a lot better than a cover 4 quarters does. So we're going to cover 4 palms. Oops, not cover 1, cover 4 palms. Where is palms? There we go, palms. And we're going to go ahead and set everything else up as usual. And then I'll show you guys where you can get this post route open. So motion snap this guy, motion snap. It's right there. You can hit that post route. And that time, the inside quarter, and he stops running his route altogether. The inside quarter plays it fairly well, and there's nobody to throw to. I want to show you guys very specifically palms, because palms is going to just dominate this. Now, you do notice right there, the post route you can hit. There's a very small window that you can hit, and of course, you can hit this hitch route as well for an easy dot, because it is technically man coverage. The corner is played by this outside quarter, bagged. Quarter flat plays the wheel route out of the backfield, bagged. Quarter flat passes it off to this inside quarter and smothered. Even if he was to continue to run his route, this inside quarter is going to match him to this sideline and just completely take it away. Now, there is a way that you can find yourself to often, I don't want to say always, but often get this post route open. And that is by putting this guy on a slant. Again, I'm going to say this again. Make sure you're running this on a hash mark with the receivers to the short side of the field. This is crucial against a cover 4 quarters. I don't want to hear people saying that this doesn't work against cover 4 quarters, because you're probably not putting it on a hash mark. It will work against quarters. Palms, on the other hand, you'll see right here, it sometimes gets bagged, it sometimes doesn't. But with the slant, you can often find yourself glitching out the defense. You can see right there, we have a little bit more space against that inside quarter. But again, it still plays it fairly effective. If we're able, I'm going to go ahead and drop these guys into spies. Looks like we're in like a 2-4-5 right now. There we go. If you're able to get a good pass lead on this, you should be able to fit this post route down into the outside. Again, just kind of depending on how the quarter flat plays it. You can see right there, that time he plays it fairly well. Kind of almost agged him right there. That's kind of a different situation. Sometimes a quarter flat will play it, and that was the same exact adjustments. Sometimes a quarter flat will play it. Sometimes the inside quarter will play it. It's random. There is no reason why it's so, I don't know why it's so inconsistent, but that's just how the game is. So you guys can see right now, cover 4 palms is bagging this play tremendously well. If they shade underneath, that's going to kind of mess up the defense, but again, it's still going to play it fairly effectively. So we got everything set up the same. Motion him over. Motion snap. You can see this time, bam. Wow. Pressure inaccurate. We had a clean pocket, whatever. You guys can see with the shade underneath, it changes the way that it does play. But it's still a very risky throw, because if you're going against somebody that's using this middle linebacker, they can just completely take away that post route altogether and essentially just completely, I know I'm saying completely a lot, but completely bag you away. So snap this ball one more time. This is a shade underneath, cover 4 quarters. You can see, bam, off to races we go. Of course, there's going to be a user there, so that's why I'm saying cover 4 palms is going to be probably the best defense to run against this particular play, because it's just how well it matches the crossers, the slants, the corners. And so be really careful running this against a cover 4 palms, because as you can see right there, even just stock, it's going to take it away very, very well. So with that being said, again, as a reminder, 20 likes on this video, and I will do a mini scheme on this one formation. If we're going to be doing a mini scheme, though, we're going to have to work out of the 49ers for George Kittle with his route apprentice. So with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you guys. One final announcement. Yes, there's some things coming to this channel. We're going to be having some apparel here in the next 2 weeks. I'm super excited. I've got one artist that is designing a pretty sweet design, I'll say it like that, for me. It's going to be available in a few days, but the apparel is going to be launching here in about 2 days, and so be on the lookout for that. Just as a reminder, Patreon as well is coming up soon. So with that being said, guys, be sure you guys are getting in the lab, 20 likes, and we will continue this little mini scheme. And until next time, get in the lab. This has been T Meister. See ya.